Yeah, so do you want to quickly repeat your quick intro and then I jump in with the first question?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay. So
So
then let's
my all good, all good. So my name is Urmi, and I'm based in Montreal, and I work in the financial sector. But I have a lot of passions. I am a self-published author, speaker, mentor, blogger, YouTuber, and I have a very big passion when it comes to investing in yourself. And one thing that I have started doing for the past 2 years has been boxing. I started boxing literally 2 years ago. I also have been doing Muay Thai. And I realized how, like, I love working out, but as soon as I started boxing and doing Muay Thai, I just realized how much in love I am with these two type of sports or martial arts.
Okay, that is very cool. And so the question I have right away when you say that, right? There are like usually like two types of people in martial arts. Like they're either ones that start as kids, but now for you and I, it's just apparently not the case. So there's usually like this kind of like moment when you're like, I'm gonna go boxing now. Like why did you start with martial arts? Why did you start boxing?
So it actually, so here is how my journey was basically with Muay Thai, because my first journey with the martial arts was with Muay Thai, and I was very much inspired with like I was very much inspired by my sister. And what happened is she basically did this Muay Thai course, and I was following this girl that who does Muay Thai. She is from Thailand, I think. And what happened is I was following this influencer, and then I was seeing my sister working out and doing Muay Thai, and I was like, oh, this might sound interesting. And I first learned about Muay Thai through a friend. And so then what happened is I was like, okay, why not give it a try and see how it is? And so in 2021 or 2022, that's when I did my first class of Muay Thai. It was pretty challenging, I have to say, because I have never did any type of, like, I never did something similar to Muay Thai. But I realized that it wasn't just about, working out. It was really about being, it really helps you to be disciplined. It helps you with your coordination. It helps you, like managing your stress, managing your anger, and unwinding after a long day. So that was my first experience with Muay Thai, and I fell in love with it.
That is very cool. So many questions that are coming up when you say that. But do you remember who that influencer was? Because I mean, I am in Thailand, so I'm just curious, like who inspired you?
Yeah, so basically this girl, her name is Kaz. So she's British, so she lives in UK. However, she has origins from Thailand, and she goes back to Thailand pretty often. She basically has a program back in Thailand where I think she founded like I don't know if it's a school or something, where basically she teaches Muay Thai, or she has a group of people that teach Muay Thai to young kids. And so that's how I got very much inspired. And she has a lot of content where she's basically fighting. I don't know if you know her now. Right now, she's in a TV show called Love Island. She went back. I think it's her second time that where she went back. Yeah. So that's how I got inspired. Yeah.
I know her. I didn't know that she's in Love Island, but I know what she's doing here, and that actually she has like those Muay Thai for women, like those courses and stuff. But she also does lots of work with an orphanage here. It's a Muay Thai orphanage.
That's
Link
it.
in description later. It's called War Watana. It's like
That
a couple. They take care of like orphans. They train them and
that's
give
it.
them education. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's it. So I exactly. And my sister used to go to one of her classes in UK,
Cool.
because she gives like you said, she has Muay Thai classes for women, and my sister used to attend those classes. So that's how I came across Muay Thai. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And I know her from being in Thailand with those orphans. So very cool. Like very cool that we have like a similar influencer that we follow. But very cool. Okay, so then that's how you started. And then you said it's been quite challenging. Like I'm very curious because I've never been like oh, let's fight. I was the first time when I went to Muay Thai gym, I was like, oh, do I belong here? So I'm wondering like how did you feel when you went into the gym the first time?
You know what? I felt really good after the workout. Like initially, I was very nervous because typically when you think about, Muay Thai, you don't associate it with women trying to, do Muay Thai. Like it's usually men. So for me, it was very challenging. And I remember when I went, I was not comfortable with it because I was like, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to be the only woman or so forth. But then I realized how much I actually have enjoyed it because it was a complete full workout. And I love the fact that I had a very good teachers, and they were not just telling us, okay, it wasn't just a workout. It was them teaching you all the techniques and how you stand, how you give a punch, how you attack and things like that. So for me, it was really also about learning about the different techniques, and it was honestly incredible.
That's very cool. It's also cool that you had some really good teachers right away that like introduces you slowly and show you technique and all those things. So then you obviously came back since you enjoyed it. And right now it's like more boxing or more Muay Thai than
It's more boxing right now. It's just because of the schedule. Boxing it fits better. Because here's the thing, I did Muay Thai for like 3 months, and then what happened is I stopped. I stopped because of my schedule. I couldn't go back. But then I always had, this need that I wanted to go back and do something similar. So I've been looking around for other type of martial arts, and the feeling that you get from martial arts, like you don't get it from other types of workouts. Like you don't get it when you run, you don't get it when you do like a HIIT workout. And so I was like, okay, let me look into boxing, because it's not the same thing as Muay Thai. Like some things are similar, but some other things are different. Like in boxing, we don't use our legs, for instance, whereas in Muay Thai you do. And so then I found about this boxing gym, and again, I went to the first boxing class. I was very nervous because it's really like in the movies, you see people in a boxing ring, fighting, getting ready for a match. And I was like, oh my gosh, imagine if they start to do like a fight with me. But it was incredible. Like even that, my first experience with boxing has been really, really incredible because again, it teaches you about coordination. It teaches you, how to react when someone is like attacking you, and it's a full workout. But I go for, like, my main reason for going is really because I really want to unwind myself and just unleash or release all the stress of the day.
Mhm. Yeah, very cool. I find like just piggybacking off this, right? I find like when I'm at Muay Thai, it's the only time where I don't think about anything else. Like you're so focused on the task at hand, there's nothing else in your mind.
Exactly. I feel the same way, and there is there is a great feeling when you are like, especially when I think about boxing, like when you're punching that boxing bag, like there's a great feeling. It's like it's not gonna get hurt, so you can just hit as hard as you want. And definitely, I also feel that I'm very, very focused. I'm very disconnected from the world. That's why I very much enjoy boxing.
Mhm. Yeah, there's nothing better than when you hit the back and you connect really well and you're like, oh, this felt so good. Yeah. No.
Exactly.
Um, so for how long have you been doing boxing now again?
It's been 2 years, so every summer I go and sign up to my boxing classes. I do it pretty much every summer for like 3 months or sometimes even 4 months. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And you said your trainers are very like helpful, right? So was there ever a time when you thought like, oh, this is really tough, or was it just always like, cool, 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 I'm getting better, or did you have some, oh, I'm so sore afterwards, I don't want to go back?
Yeah. So the first time, oh my gosh, the first time when I did the boxing class, I was so exhausted to the point that I came home, I ate, and then I had to go straight to bed. Like I was just way too tired. Um, but then when I kept going, I feel like it just kept getting better. Like it was so much better when I kept going to those classes. I feel like even my punch got better. And every time we go boxing, you're like partner up with someone, so you do like exercises with your partner. And one of the partners told me, oh, you're really strong. So I'm like, okay, I guess I can see some improvements. And so like I can see that it just got better as time passed by.
That's very cool. Yeah, so obviously, like I asked those questions for a reason, right? Because I mean, the idea of like fight principle is all about like what can martial arts teach us for life, or what can we take away for real life. So I'm wondering, like, if when you started with then Muay Thai and transition into boxing, if that also helped you in your actual life.
Yeah, because I think here's the thing: when it comes when it comes to this type of workouts, there are so many transferable skills. Like I mentioned before, like it teaches you about coordination, or it teaches you about about discipline. Like I'm a very disciplined plus person, and I think Muay Thai, boxing, they really help you with that. They really help you to be disciplined, to show up, to make sure that you're putting time towards that. And there is of course the mental health benefits, like you feel so much better. There is dopamine being released. You feel much happier. You feel much joyful, and I think it really builds you to be a very resilient and strong person. And for me, like the way I like to think about boxing, it's like you have someone punching you and you fall down, but it's about standing up and fighting back. And I associate that with resilience and tenacity, which is something that everyone needs in our daily life. It's not just falling down in the boxing ring when you're fighting, but it's about also life in general. There are so many times that we get distracted, we get a lot of rejection, there are so many times that we fall back, and it's really about building resilience. And I feel like boxing and Muay Thai, they do really help you to be much stronger. And I highly recommend anyone to try a Muay Thai or boxing class, because it really makes you mentally really, really strong, and it makes you also very confident, and confidence is important, especially when you work in the corporate job. Like people want to see a confident person, and I feel like that really has helped me.
It's funny that you would say that. Like I didn't even note it down in my notes, but my friend's been telling me like, hey, you walk differently since you started Muay Thai. Like you walk on clear. Like yeah, it does help. It does help. Like because there's no hiding anywhere. Like if the teacher calls your name, you're next on the pads, and you have to hit it or kick it or whatever it might be. So yeah. Very, very good point. I'm wondering, right? Since you said like it helps us with resilience and all those things. Like, can you remember like a certain moment in your life where like, hey, maybe before boxing or Muay Thai I wouldn't have reacted in a way I reacted now? Do you have any specific?
I mean, probably there was a time where basically I failed an exam, and it was a very important exam for me. And when when I was writing this exam, it was the same time that when I was like training and doing Muay Thai. And what happened is I got the news that, I failed the exam, but I was not upset about it. Like the next day I woke up and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm a fighter. I can do this. And so I feel like indirectly, I feel like the fact that, I've been doing Muay Thai really helped me, because I feel like it's always about standing back up and just moving on and making sure that you don't make the same mistakes, and making sure that you're like a fighter. And I always try to think of myself as a fighter. Like I feel like when I'm wearing those boxing gloves, I transform myself into a fighter, and that's how I try to tackle my everyday life. I always think of myself as a warrior, and I think it's important to have that kind of mindset that you're a warrior, that that you can conquer the world. And I feel like in that sense, Muay Thai has helped me, and in this particular time, it really has helped me to just don't let failure bring you down, but just take it as an opportunity to be better, basically.
I love that approach. Great mindset, because like you said, right, no one goes through life only winning the whole time. Like you have to figure out like how to deal with like setbacks and stuff like this. And boxing, Muay Thai, any kind of martial arts just teaches you that you're not always winning, but it's no problem. You get up and you try again. So I think that's a very, very cool takeaway. I'm curious again, because when I thought about like questions I want to ask the people I talk to, of course I want to know all about you and how martial arts helped you, but I'm also wondering if it like maybe changed like, I don't know, relationships to people around you, or if people react differently to you. Is there anything like that you could remember?
It's not that people react differently, but people look at me differently when they see that I have like a like when I tell them that I do boxing, or when they see my boxing gloves. Like I feel like people will look at you with like so much more respect, because I feel like boxing and Muay Thai, it's not something that everyone does. Like it's very I feel like it's just a small percentage of people who do boxing, because a lot of the time people are scared. People are scared of doing this kind of, aggressive type of training, because you're pretty much fighting with someone. But it's like the training itself is not about fighting with someone, but they teach you how to fight with someone. So people look at me with like different eyes, because they look at me with so much more respect, and I guess it's a great feeling.
Well, cool that you say it. I just saw like a post by a Muay Thai guy that I follow, a Muay Thai coach, and he posted like, if you ever think that you're bad at martial arts, just know that only like less than 5% of the population actually train martial arts. It's just a small amount of people actually train. So you're already a step ahead. So yeah, it's cool that you say it, because most people or many people might not do it. And that's my next question actually. Like if someone is thinking about it, like, it's really cool when I see you with the glass and but I'm not sure if it's for me. How would you encourage them? Like what would you tell them?
Here's the thing. I feel like with any type of workout, it's about trial and error, because like I love to work out, and there's so many different things that I have done in my life. Like I've tried Pilates, I've tried yoga, I've tried hot Pilates, hot yoga, I tried HIIT workout, I did like running, and then at last I tried boxing. And my advice would be that you have to try different things to find what fits you the best, because it's Muay Thai and boxing is not for everyone, but it's about really trying. And a lot of the times, a lot of these programs, they have free trials. So by trying a free trial, you're not losing anything. And you can always look up on YouTube to have an idea of like what kind of workouts are there, how does it work with like Muay Thai and stuff like that. Because of course some workouts are pretty aggressive, but when you're a beginner, it's never like you never go to that level, so it's always about trying and finding what's right for you. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Yeah. Good attitude. Like just try. And also to be fair, right, when you go to like a boxing Muay Thai gym, usually the people that do it a lot, they're very nice to beginners. They see that you're a beginner, like, hey, let me help you. It's no problem.
Exactly. People are very nice, and you feel so much support, and you feel so much encouraged by these people. So a lot of the times, like very good professionals are very, very helpful. And that's how I felt very comfortable when I went the first time, because I said, I know nothing about this. I'm not sure how to fight. I'm not sure how to do how to do the job or stuff like that. And they were really, really helpful. So
yeah, I'm not sure if it's correct, right? But when I go to a gym here in Thailand, I feel like all those fighters, because in every gym there are actually like prize fighters, right? And they're always so nice. I'm like, maybe it's because they're always so tired from training. They have to be relaxed and have to be chill, because they just train all the time. No, but they are all very, very nice people. And gyms usually very nice people, because they leave all the anger out there, right? There's nothing mean about them. You mentioned in the intro, right? You mentioned like all the things that you're doing. And just to bring it back to that, like I simply would assume, but I hope you can explain a bit more, like how then, like what you said, like resilience and so on, how this also helps you with that type of work.
Yeah, I would say for me, Muay Thai just helped me to be a bit more, confident, and it helped me to be out of my comfort zone. And because of that, because I feel much more comfortable and I feel much, much more confident, I was able to engage in other things and be less shy about engaging with things that I very much enjoy. A lot of the work that I do, like women's empowerment, the fact that I have written a book, I feel like I got a lot of strengths from Muay Thai, and less fear of judgment. I think whenever you're doing some work that people are not used to seeing, it can be a little bit intimidating. And I feel like Muay Thai has helped me to basically conquer my fears and basically go and do something challenging. And that's how I'm able to do the work that I do outside of my day-to-day job.
Yeah, there's a very cool takeaway actually. Because yeah, especially if you do things that might not be your day job, and you wanna be successful in that, and then people judge you for it, like, why are you doing this? And yeah, that's actually a great. That would be like also a great T-shirt. I mean, just for people to think about, like, hey, like getting back up again, and just if you don't try, how are you
Yeah,
gonna succeed, right? Yeah, that's a
exactly.
great thing.
Exactly.
I love that. I have a few more things. I thought, like, I'm not sure if it works. We just try because you're my first guest in this interview format. So I thought of a rapid fire round. I just give you
Let's
like,
do it.
okay, fantastic. Okay. I hope those work. Okay. If you're like, hey, that's stupid, we just move on. Okay.
All good.
Thank you. Because trial and error, just like in martial arts. Okay, number one, do you have a favorite martial arts movie or a favorite fight scene in any movie?
Oh my gosh. No. Okay, here's the thing. I don't have a specific movie, but I love action movies. I love action movies because they have those fights, and then when I see a woman fighting, that's how I get inspired to keep going and do martial arts. Like I'm like, okay, I want to be able to fight like that, even though like in real life you're not fighting with people, but in case I get attacked or something, I just want to be able to fight back. So I get inspired by women fighting in action movies. So I don't have a specific movie.
Friend, all the fighting is cool. So I like that.
Exactly.
Okay. It- Out of curiosity, because you said like you follow, for example, that influencer, right? Do you also follow like other martial artists by any chance? Do you get inspiration from that?
Yeah, there is another person that I follow who does also martial arts. I don't know her name, but I think she's also based in Thailand or in the States or one of those two countries. And she posts videos of her fighting, but she also posts like videos on how like she teaches you a different technique. So I actually follow her too. And when they say that you have to surround yourself with the right people to become like that. So basically I follow all these people so I can turn or transform myself to one of those people. So I follow also this other person who does Muay Thai.
Okay, very cool. I do the same thing for the same reason. You follow people because then you surround yourself with them. Like all the things you mentioned before that martial arts teaches you, like might be like a difficult slash not the smartest question, but what's the most important thing that martial arts taught you? Is it resilience or is it adaptability or is it always try?
Um, what did martial art? So for me, the biggest thing that martial arts has taught me is about mindfulness. Because as you were mentioning before, like I think you're so focused and concentrated in the workout that you're not thinking about anything else. And I feel like especially now, in like nowadays where we have so much around us, we are always on the go, or we're so much sucked into our social media account. I think it's important to take time to really like disconnect from the world. And martial arts has really taught me about disconnecting and being like present, and mindfulness is like has been one of the things that martial arts has taught me.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, mindfulness, great. Is like you said, like right now with social media and everything, we totally lose that. So I love that. That's great. Um, do you remember the last kind of like skill or move you were working on in the gym? Like, I don't know, slip punch or something, anything that you were working in the last in the
Um,
trains?
Let me see, what was the thing that I was learning? It's been 2 months that I didn't do boxing. Oh my gosh. Well, here's the thing. We learn so many different things. What was it? Okay, here's the thing. With Muay Thai, you have to when you have to kick with your leg. It, I feel like my legs are not that strong when I have to kick, and so that has been one of the things that I've been like working on. Like I feel like my upper body is a bit stronger than my lower body, and so when they like make you stand like that, and then you have to like
Hmm.
kick with the leg. That's one technique that I've been like working on and trying to excel at it. So it's a work in progress.
Oh,
It's a
it's
work in
difficult.
It's difficult. Yeah, it's difficult. I feel like a lot of the times with Muay Thai, you have to know how to stand properly because people think that, the all the strengths are coming from like one way, but it's usually coming from the position. It's never coming from like a particular part of your body. It's usually from the position that you are taking to hit back, and it's about really being coordinated. Like you have to be really really coordinated, and sometimes it's really hard. And one thing that I have difficulty when it comes to, let's say, boxing is when you're like doing the slip. I think that's how it's called. Oh my gosh, it's so difficult. Like I always find it very challenging.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And yeah, like I said, it's all in the technique, right? That's what
Yeah.
many people underestimate. It's all the technique. I've been training Muay Thai almost 10 years now, and they're still like, how do I move my hip to get more?
Yeah, but
It's difficult.
yeah, and the other thing, it's not maybe with Muay Thai, but maybe with boxing is the speed. Because usually they tell you like, okay, you do like jump cross, then you do the hook, and they show you everything really fast, and you have to do it really fast. And I can see some people being able to be like, I can see people being really fast, but me, when I have to be fast, I'm not able to. Like I feel like I'm like not concentrated, I'm not good with the coordination, so I have to do it really really slowly. So I think with boxing there is this difficulty that comes with speed, so you really have to be fast, because in real life, like, you won't be able to like hit slowly.
It's true, true. And then when you do combinations like 1 2 1 2 3 5 7 8,
That's
what?
it. And that's it. So
Yeah, fair, fair. Okay. Would I'm not sure. Like I just jotted down the question, but do you have a dream kind of like location where you would want to train or
yeah.
fight or? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would like to go to Thailand and actually do a Muay Thai course, because I heard this from two different people. So my sister who went to Thailand, she told me that she did like a Muay Thai lesson, and she said this was the best thing ever. It was so much better than the one that she was getting back in UK. And I heard the same thing from another girl who was in my Muay Thai class, and she said, yeah, I come here to do Muay Thai, but it's not comparable to the Muay Thai lessons that you got back in Thailand. So my dream one day is to go to Thailand and actually do like a Muay Thai course over there, um, and be able to learn as much as possible from actually like from the place that Muay Thai was born.
Very cool. And yeah, I can second that. Like, as I mean, I'm not from Thailand, but I live here. So the classes here are completely different. Every
Yeah,
class, even if it's not private, you get a one-on-one training with the trainer.
yeah.
No matter where you go, it's very different. Yeah. So it's very cool. So if you get the chance, you should definitely do that.
Yes.
What's the best advice that you ever received from like a coach, trainer, mentor?
When it comes to Muay Thai or boxing, you mean? Or just in general?
If they gave you life advice, I'm also happy to hear that.
And life advice, yes, there was a life advice that I got that I got from one of my best friends, because there was a time when I had to make a decision about different things, and I was not able to come up with a decision. And she said the following: make a decision that will bring you to your closest true self. And so that's how I make my decision right now. Like, I feel like for me it's more important to be authentic and to be closer to my true self, or be my true self. So every decision that I make, I always think about that sentence, like what will bring me to reach my truest self. And so I would say that's a very good advice for anyone who's listening.
It's a very deep to it. So that you have to think about like, what is my true self? Is a very, very good thing to think about. Okay, I have three more rapid fire ones. What do you think is the most underrated skill in martial arts?
Hmm.
What's
Underrated.
Yeah, earlier you said it's not only about power, for example. Most people would think that power is the most important, but I wonder like, what do you think is the most underrated?
I think the speed. I think the speed, because people think it's easy, right? Like, but it's really not. I think the speed is pretty underrated, and you would not know that unless you go to an actual class and see that some of the things that you have to do really comes with speed. Like you have to be really fast at them.
Yeah, fair point. True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The last two are more on the silly side. I hope that's okay. But I'm also curious, like, so, because fighters sometimes have like some superstition, some crazy stuff like don't wash your hand wraps or whatever. I don't know. Is there anything that you have to do before you train, like put on the left shoe first or whatever? Any superstition?
None of it. I do none of that. I just do none of that. Maybe
Thank
one
God.
day when I actually fight with someone in real life, then maybe I will, if I go and do a competition. But no, I don't have anything now. I don't have anything. But
Okay.
here's the thing. Um, I don't have anything. But if I had to, one thing that I would say is the word. So basically, I'm Italian. And we, before anything, we always say the word merda, which means shit. So basically, you say merda, merda, merda before something, and that is supposed to like help you. So that would be something I would say.
I will sit in a fight. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
imagine. All right. Last rapid fire before we wrap it up. But you know how there's some signature moves, right? So flying kick in Muay Thai or like whatever, Superman punch. What would be your signature move?
I haven't learned it yet. It's something that I want to learn because I follow a lot of those influencers. I want to be able to do a flying kick, which is so hard.
Yeah, it's not hard, but it looks very cool.
It looks so cool. That's my goal one day.
All right, cool. Okay, then I'll move to the wrap up so slowly. But if we now after we talked like for over 30 minutes now, what would be like the one main takeaway if someone listens to us now? What would the one key takeaway they should take away from this conversation?
I would say to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, especially when it comes to Muay Thai and boxing or any type of martial arts. I would say that if you have an interest in trying any of these things, just go ahead and just embrace it and just try a class. There is nothing that you're losing from it.
Yeah, awesome. I like that. Okay, last thing, of course, where can the people find you? Where can they connect with you? Where can they see more of you?
So I have a YouTube channel called Urmi Hossain, so people can just Google me. I also have my book, which is on Amazon, called Discovering Your Identity, A Rebirth from Integration Struggle. And of course, there is a Women in Leadership Instagram account where I am the social media lead, so people can follow me there. And there is the Femme Influence website, which is the second organization that I am part of, where I am the campaign manager.
Okay, cool. I'll make sure to have all the links, of course, on the description so that people can find that. Lastly, and of course, the question, any other message you want to get out to the people that are hopefully listening to this new podcast right now?
No, not really. Not
Okay,
really.
I hope we covered it all. Well, then I say one more thing because it's really cool that you're on because, I mean, I just started this like a few days ago. I was thinking about it for such a long time. Like,
Good thing you started.
like, yeah, I mean, like you said, I have to try things, right? Like martial arts been like very important to me for a long time, but it's not my main job. Yeah, I work at a university, like boring job, like never
Yeah.
had like time. And like now I just want to do it. You have to just get out there and do it. So I appreciate that you're like the first one on here with the right mindset. That's very cool.
Oh. You know what? I always like, because now I'm not going for boxing because it's winter. I know it's not an excuse, but for me to go to that place to work out, like it's a bit far. Uh, but whenever I'm not boxing, I crave for it. Like I just miss it. I really miss it. It's like you don't get the same adrenaline from other workouts. Like you don't get that from other workouts, and you only get it with certain workouts such as boxing and Muay Thai. So I don't know. I just love boxing, and Muay Thai is like so much fun. And I don't know. I hope people do it more and more. Like to my boxing, at my boxing gym, there are not that many women, and that's the thing. I feel like it sucks. Like I wish there were more women working out. There are a couple of them, but it's a really fun workout. It's a really fun workout.
I agree. So I feel the same now. It's 2 days without Muay Thai and I'm already itching. I'm like, oh my God, I love it so much. Like my meditation somehow, it's like where I like switch off, and if I don't have it, like too many voices, thoughts, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to
Exactly. Especially if you work, like let's say you work in a university, I work in an office, like you want to do something different, to shake things up. And I feel like doing those kind of workouts really, really help. Yeah.
No, I agree. And it brings in a different mindset that you also, you think differently. And also the last thing like that I realized is like working, like I worked in corporate before I moved to university. So I'm done with talking to people. When I worked in corporate and I had to go to like whatever sales pitches and whatnot, like, oh, I'm so done with people. But in martial arts, you just talk about martial arts. You don't talk about like what's your job, and no one cares in the gym what your job is, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you connect with people that are passionate about martial arts. Like it's nice to see that there are people that, it's not just about work, then they also like other things as well, and martial arts is one of them. Yeah,
I agree. Okay, cool. Hey, I don't want to keep you that much longer, and it was awesome, so thank you very much for that.